Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Binding of Isaac. My second attempt to set this up because I kind of messed up at setting things up the first time, which is not a surprise. This is the first time I messed with this functionality on Spider Mod, so it did take a little bit to get used to. So essentially what I have done is I have removed every Wrath of the Lamb based item from the item pools in Isaac. So theoretically we are going to get nothing but vanilla Isaac items throughout the game. The main reason I did this is because I know a lot of people will tell you that Wrath of the Lamb made the game much harder, and that the floors given for Wrath of the Lamb are much more difficult than the floors given in Base Isaac. And while in some cases I do agree with that, for example, Necropolis is 100% unequivocally more difficult than the depths, if for nothing else in the hearts and masks and such. But essentially, you know, there are people out there who think that Isaac cannot be beaten with vanilla items in Wrath of the Lamb, that the items added in Wrath of the Lamb were good enough that they accounted for this extra challenge, and that without them, the game is now pretty much very difficult, if not impossible, to beat. So, what I have done is decide to test that theory by removing every single item that came in Wrath of the Lamb from the item pools, and to just run through this game playing through with the vanilla items. So there are some things that might cause a Wrath of the Lamb item to appear. You know, if I missed editing something, if I'm not properly sure of how this function on Spider Mod works, stuff might appear. If it does, I'll just reroll until we get it to a vanilla item. But that shouldn't come up, I don't think. But long story short, you know, trinkets are still going to be there, which is something we can just easily walk around and avoid, as are, you know, the Two of Hearts, the Two of Claws, Spades, Diamonds, and the Joker, which once again are things that we're just going to avoid. Things like the libraries appearing, that was part of Wrath of the Lamb without adding items, so those are some that should stick around. Even if I had the power to stop them from spawning, it's something that is a new mechanic added in Wrath of the Lamb, not a new item. And so that is a different story in my opinion. So essentially what we're going to be doing here is we are going to be doing our best to put together a victorious run through the chest without ever picking up an item from this expansion. Obviously we're on Basement 2 right now, so it's not much different than Vanilla Isaac to begin with. But obviously, you know, we want to hopefully run into some of those Wrath of the Lamb floors eventually and see what they got for us. I'm going to blow that up, get 2 Spirit Hearts, that increases our chances of a deal with the devil. In all honesty, I'll admit, deal with, let's say, Gift from the Angel, I think is what I've kind of come to call them as. Those rooms are kind of broken with this setup, just because there were like 90% of the items in them were Wrath of the Lamb items. Holy Grail, Dead Dove, Prayer Card, Scapular, all that stuff. So, I mean, they're going to be kind of unequivocally better than they were normally. I don't want either of these, but I will reroll and I will take the Pact. So it's kind of going to be fun to play through this like this. But back to what I was saying, the Angel Rooms had so much of a high percentage of their items being Wrath of the Lamb items that if we had gotten one of those, the game honestly would have been a little bit broken in my favor, because outside of the Bible, like, everything that was from Vanilla Isaac that was included in the Angel Rooms is an item well worth taking, you know what I mean? So we're going to bomb our way into the secret room, which isn't where I thought it would be, so I guess we're just going to use our other bomb right here. And we get pills, which are speed up. That's fine by me. We do have to take the speed up from the boss, but remember we had an eternal heart drop there that we can use to get ourselves back up a heart, essentially making it so we only paid 1 heart for the pact instead of 2, which is a wonderful deal. The pact is a great item. We could definitely use some more keys though, and the game is still refusing to put me on Wrath of the Lamb floors, which I guess is kind of nice of it since I am playing this along the lines of Vanilla Isaac. But I'm not going to be able to test my theory that, you know, things work out the same if, and that you can still beat the game as it is now if we don't ever get floors that are like the ones that you get now. So, hopefully we're going to end up on Catacombs 2 after this floor, so that we can start to have some fun playing through the vanilla floors. Of course, the items I've gotten so far are all ones that are very beneficial even in Wrath of the Lamb. The Pact is one of my favorite stat upgrades. Little Steven is probably my second favorite familiar. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're definitely, not doing anything that would be drastically different from what we were doing if Wrath of the Lamb items were in the game. But the point is the long term figuring things out. We are going to run back to the item room and pop that open right now. Just because, even though we won't reroll it if we have to go to, because we can reroll it, and if we get something good, we're going to reroll the bomb bag. Book of Belial is a very good item, but I don't think it's something I want to take with me going forward. I think I would rather stick with the D6. But yeah, we're going to want to be paying attention to... we wanted to see if there was anything in the item room that was going to help us immediately against the boss before going in there and fighting it. So, that was, I think, a wise decision. We can fight one more room, then go fight the boss, and then it'll give us our D6 charge upon completion. And we will head right up here. Head to the right, where we will find a room full of these dudes, and the shop. So, hopefully we'll get a key here, so we can go to the shop as well on this floor. But if we don't, no big deal, really. And I'm kind of surprised this floor was quite as short as it was, actually. But regardless, we are now ready to fight the boss. Unfortunately, we did not get a key. We're fighting the Fallen. The Fallen kind of scares me right now. Not because I don't have the damage or the skills to take him out, but just because it's been a long time since I've fought him, really. So, oh, that was the first bit of damage we're taking. I did hear about a little bit of a trick with Brimstone to make it do extra damage on Twitter today, thanks to YouTube Let's Player Biznap. But apparently, one of his commenters let him know. I'm going to try to figure it out next time I get Brimstone in a run. That if you quickly tap the Brimstone fire key, you can do like 3 or 4 times the damage that you would normally do because it fires multiple times. I'm going to reroll Dead Cat and get the Book of Sin. That was a very disappointing reroll. And give me a second to get a drink. I'm sorry, my voice is acting up. There we go. Hopefully that'll get a bit better. And so we are still on vanilla floors. I swear I did not activate the cheat that was to give vanilla floors. I did not really want that to be the case, and that's all we've gotten so far. So in a way, we're kind of playing through Vanilla Isaac with a couple of little twists right now, which is, I guess, also an interesting run in its own right, but not nearly the run that I was going for here. I apologize. I should have probably just said it so that I would get only Wrath of the Lamb floors, but I feel like it's very rare when you get through the whole game without getting a vanilla floor. And, is it really any more proving the point to play through only the Wrath of the Lamb floors than it is to play through the game as it's actually played through today? I mean, this randomization is happening the exact same as it would if I was playing through the game with nothing activated. So it is actually how I would be playing this run of Wrath of the Lamb. So I guess I can't complain on that. We are going to pick up Teleport, pick up our D6. We're going to re-roll that now. We get the Compass. That's a big upgrade, although we have Curse of Darkness right now, so it doesn't help us. It will help us in the future. Of course, if you don't know, the reason why I re-rolled immediately instead of waiting until I was done fighting is this is going to give me a charge back on my D6 when I complete this room. If I had waited till I completed the room and then re-rolled it, we would have no charges going forward instead of 1. So I feel like that is obviously the logical thing to do to maximize our re-roll ability, is to, quite simply, make sure that we reroll before enemies are done in the room. We'll pick up our compass and we will move on. We still have no keys to go to the shop or the item room on this floor. That's getting really frustrating. We are going to save this bomb to get that Eternal Heart eventually, but what's the use of risking it getting lost instead of just picking up later in the floor? And we'll wrap around down to the bottom here. Still no keys, still no sign of a boss room. And remember, with the fact that we have no Wrath of the Lamb items, we don't have the box. which means that we don't really have a bit of access to a key from the boss room like we would. So yeah, we aren't in the best position right now. I should also add that I'm only going to be taking the Polaroid, no other trinkets. If I end up going to health that is low enough where it activates the Polaroid's invincibility, well, that's a mechanic that you have to go to the chest in Wrath of the Lamb. I think that really counts as thing, and as fair. But in general, I want to avoid the trinkets to keep this as unspoiled as possible. We're going to be fighting Pestilence here. He shouldn't be an issue. We are doing decent damage, although not great. Not nearly as much as I would like to be doing at this point. And that was unfortunate. We just got hit by that maggot, which was really stupid on my part. He's going to kill at least that one dude. And we're going to stand back here. He's going to be spawning flies only now. So his difficulty has just decreased yet again. Although the flies are still taking 2 hits to kill. It's one of the ways that you can tell anecdotally that Max's head gives more damage than the Pact. We get a cube of meat. I'm not that psyched about that, especially considering we didn't get another deal with the devil, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, it's one of the nice things about... it's one of the ways that you can tell anecdotally, you know, item balance. If you pick up Max's head, you know, with Spider Mod here, you could just look up the exact stats and say, oh, this gives me this much damage. Or if you looked at the code, you could see it, whatever the case may be. But anecdotally, you can say, well, I picked up the pack that gave me 1 damage up mark on the stat screen, which is the same amount of marks as Max's head fulfills. But when I get Max's head, I can destroy flies in 1 hit, and when I get the pack, they still take 2. And that's kind of how I went about learning a lot of my Isaac play, is that kind of, you know, comparing, okay, this gives me this much in a stat, this gives me this much. Obviously, this is more than this, even though it is listed as the same. It was very much an interesting journey to learn through all the items and learn what I preferred and what I didn't. And it looks like we are literally not going to get a single key drop in the past, like, floor and a half, which is endlessly frustrating, because I do not have what I need to succeed in this run right now. The pact alone does not make a good run. It can be an indicator that you're going to have items that give you a good run, but it does not make a good run. Without other items, I am literally doomed to failure, probably by the Cathedral. At the latest. You know, if I get Necropolis and I have some bad luck with masks and hearts, it could be much earlier than that, but if I don't, then and speaking of Necropolis, so this is our first kind of real test, and it is on the floor that I consider most harder than any other vanilla floor. And of course we have to fight these guys, who are going to be complete pains in the neck, as always. We don't have the damage needed to get rid of their flies quickly, which is unfortunate. We do have the ability to turn them into bomb flies, eventually, that are gonna cause me to take damage. And there we go. That was a well-placed explosion, although, let's be honest here, it wasn't entirely on purpose. I did try to get it to work out that way, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna kill him on time. Nope. Just gotta avoid these dudes. Really, the biggest threat to me is that little green dude, although little red dude is the one that hit me. And we're going to go ahead and go in the secret room, even though we have 30 cents and we have only 1 bomb. I would like to try to get a key drop as much as I can, and fighting greed is one way to do that. We could also prepare to do the greed exploit, but I don't have the bombs to really make that viable. But we might as well try it. Nope, we just get a bunch of money. Let's see if we get something for completing the room. A bomb! Yay! Exactly what I wanted. You know, I was so psyched to be like, I can trade a bomb to get some money that I'm never going to spend and another bomb. So, we're still chugging along here. We are at a supreme disadvantage from where I wish we were right now. We don't have full health, so we can't go to this challenge room right now. This is not shaping up well, I'm not gonna lie. It's not the fact that the items aren't good enough, it's the fact that I'm not getting enough consumables to get enough items to do well. You know, the Pact is a great item, Cuba Meat is useful, Little Steve is a pretty useful item, but those in tandem are not equal in value to even a single Brimstone or Mom's Knife or anything like that. So, I mean, we need something to carry us to victory here at this point. We can't just keep making do with what we have. We're going to check the curse room. I know it's silly, but we have to do it. Nothing in there. I was kind of hoping that Tinted Rock was going to give us a key instead of a Spirit Heart, actually, but right now we're having some decent luck on these floors, at least. I mean, we did get that one room full of hives, I think is their names, but we did not get any masks and hearts so far. That was stupid damage to take, so was that. Poison Touch did some work, though. A key! Finally! I gotta go to the shop because I know Greed's not in here and there might have been a key on sale. There was not. We're gonna buy this pill. It's a range up, not that great. But we had to go to the shop because there was a chance that there was a key on sale as well as an item. Obviously, Treasure Map is something I'm very interested in having. So it worked out for us in that respect, but we still are extremely lacking from our personal item set right now. I hate to say it, but we're not in the best of shape to complete this run right now. Okay, so these guys are both destroyed down to being just regular bomb flies. Still no keys. And now we get masks and hearts because of course I had to bring them up, so they had to appear. And we want to... Whoop. Okay, this is getting dangerous. These masks are kissing. That's kind of nice of them. I prefer them to kiss than to attack me. Make love, not war. Come on, guys. Make more love, not war. Come on, make love. Kiss each other. Stop chasing me. I don't want your kisses. I want you to die. Run away. Those jerks tried to kiss me. Then we get another Spirit Heart from here. And more masks and hearts, almost literally the exact same room as the last floor, as the last one. In fact, it is literally the exact same room. And I botched that bomb. The only difference between this room and the last room is the fact that the Tinted Rock is placed in the top right corner instead of the bottom left. Like, that is how exactly specific these rooms were to each other. 2 bombs in the center, 1 Tinted Rock in the room. 4 masks, 4 hearts. They're doing an absurd amount of damage to me because I cannot handle these things well. Still no key for our item room. What a shock. We might as well go fight the boss. Of course it's Mask of Infamy. Because I have such a great amount of items at my disposal right now to make this guy remotely bearable to fight. Why not make me fight him? I mean, what kind of a nice game would you be if you had me fight literally any boss but the one that I am completely ill-equipped to handle? So now we play this game, which could take, 20 minutes of trying to hit him. Let's put a bomb here. He turned around at the right time. Oh my god, I just wasted 2 bombs. He didn't even get hit by one of them. And he is still going alive and strong, which is not that great for me if you didn't know. This guy is literally the most annoying boss to fight if you don't have some kind of piercing shots or Cat of Nine Tails. And without Cat of Nine Tails is a possibility, and not having found Brimstone or Mom's Knife in any of the rooms we've come across, we're not in the best shape to take him on. But we're doing okay. We've only taken 1 hit, and he is getting kind of low on health, it appears. So, I guess we're going to just keep trying to plug away at him, bit by bit. There we go. That worked out better than I expected to, but once again, no deal with the Devil Room, because why would the game give me anything that could let me have a chance of beating this run? Keys? No keys for you! Deals with the devil? Nope, none of those. Like, honestly, this run has given me, what, 2 keys over the entire course of the run? What do we have? We've got Little Steve. We've got the HP up was from the first boss. The virus was from a challenge room. The pack from a devil room. Wooden spoon was from a boss room, compass from a challenge room, cube of meat from a boss room, the map was from a shop, obviously, and the HP upgrade was from the boss room. So literally, this game has given me two keys in 5 floors. I have completely finished 5 floors, and I have gotten 2 keys out of it. So now I'm in kind of desperation mode. What I'm looking for now is the second secret room. Maybe, just maybe, there'll be something useful in here. Guppy's tail, I'm gonna reroll. Lemon mishap! Oh, thank you, game! That makes up for everything when I rerolled an item that shouldn't have spawned, and I got lemon mishap, which should not have been able to be rerolled to, because that was a red chest. It should have been a devil item or a angel item. Granted, I know that's not how it really works when it comes to rerolling those, but the fact is that it should have been the case because that's how it was supposed to work. I did forget to go to the challenge room. That was my idiocy at work because I completely forgot that the challenge room was there and hadn't been fought yet. So yeah, my bad on that. That could have given us another key. But, oh my god, finally a third key. Key number 3 for the run comes on floor number 6. I'm getting 1 room that I can enter per 2 floors. That is a great ratio for beating Binding of Isaac, to those of you not in the know. Took some stupid damage there because at this point I'm just so frustrated. We're gonna crack this gray chest open. Get a bomb and a penny. Oh, the pinking shears, the pinking shears. I really want to keep the D6, but at the same time, they are an item that could potentially give us that little bit of a boost of damage that would be so nice at this point in the run. I think I gotta go with a reroll, though. I don't think I can feel at my best by taking the pinking shears over rerolling and trying to get something to boost to my own stats. You know, once every 6 rooms is great for them, but it's just not enough to help out in a consistent fashion. And that's what I need right now. I need consistent abilities, not something I can use once every 6 floors or so. 6 rooms or so. 6 floors or so! That would be an item room. That's what I can use 6 floors, every 6 floors or so, is item rooms. Oh, and we reroll to Boom, which is in its own right a useful item at times, but this is not one of those times. This is a time when 10 bombs is pretty much 10 more bombs is pretty much no better than the amount of bombs I currently have, and it's not what I need. In here we find the unicorn horn. Once again, a tempting item, but not tempting enough. We might use another bomb and try to reroll that. I mean, the worst that happens, we could end up with a 1-up or a raw liver, or, I mean, the best that happens, we would get Transcendence, which obviously isn't an item that is going to be a game breaker for me, but it is something that would at least give me a little bit of help. The ability to fly would be huge. We do get a dime, which means the shop is viable if by some odd miracle we get a second key on this floor. Let's reroll this once. We aren't going to waste that many bombs to keep coming back here, but we got raw liver. That's awesome. That is like the best item that I could have asked for from there. Flying would be nice. Flying would be wonderful, really. But if we aren't going to get many items, then having a lot of health build up is something that will help us to at least have a chance of getting to the cathedral. Right now, I feel relatively confident that I could beat the womb. I know that the only stat upgrade that I have is the Pact, and Little Steve doing a little bit of extra damage for me. But I do actually feel like, with the run in its current state, I could beat the womb pretty reliably. You know, I've done excuse me. I have done challenge runs in the past before Wrath of the Lamb, where I took literally 0 items throughout the entire game and tried to beat through Satan. And they worked out. I actually managed to complete those runs, and it was very difficult. But, you know, if I can do that, then I can do homing bombs. Yeah. You know, I won't lie. I can beat through the womb with this. with this 7 hearts and at least a little bit of damage upgrade, unless I run into a lot of horrible rooms. But it's just one of the kind of runs I'm not a big fan of, which is where you've got the survivability and you've got the skill to make it through the long-term game, but you don't have the damage to get through rooms in a reasonable amount of time. You don't have anything helping you to move through rooms quicker, to get through enemies before you've spent, 5 minutes on them. It's just kind of, it gets kind of boring to me. Not in the sense that, how to put it? It's not that it's like, oh, it's challenging this run, that's boring, let's go. No, it's more along the lines of, after playing this for so many hours, I've fought these enemies in this situation so many times, and it's just so much more fun to me nowadays to be able to kind of take them out at a reasonable speed. You know what, I've got poison touch. When I get hit, I just need to run into these zombies / knights, because otherwise this is going to take forever. And we get a bomb, not a key, never a key. And we will head down here, where we will reroll our item room again. Bets on Mr. Mega or Mr. Boom. Blood of the Martyr. That is actually a game-changing item. It's not the best damage item in the game, but to get those 2 points of damage up is going to make a huge difference in our chances to beat this run. Beating Isaac and Blue Baby, still questionable, but now I'm pretty certain that we're going to at least make it to the Isaac fight. If we can get 1 or 2 more good items, if we get like a pact from a devil room, that would be awesome. If we could get a couple more health ups, that would be cool. But this is going to give us what we need to be able to move through these rooms at a little bit more decent pace and have a much better chance of being able to get through the end of the game here. And it looks like he did spawn a spider nub, which is actually kind of annoying. And so let's just go ahead and kill Little Chub here. And he wants to spawn some more. I'm going to shoot his spawn so it doesn't kill me while I'm not looking. He drops a half heart, that's good. I would like to get enough hearts to go to that challenge room up there. Chances of getting growth hormones are there. And like I said, we only really need a couple more items to go from I don't think we have a chance to we have a chance. Which is saying a lot considering where we were throughout this whole run. But, it's the truth. I really think that we don't need much more to have a good chance. With 24 cents and no keys, we're going to come into this arcade here and play up a storm. We're going to be killing flies in one hit now when we hit with our shots, not little Steve's shots. Which is, of course, always the downside of having familiars, is when you have higher damage, if their shots hit first, they just kind of knock the enemy out of the way of your shot, and your high damage shot doesn't do anything. Of course, these guys aren't going to pay out. I would say I have the worst luck in this game, but if I had... that was full health. There's a full health pill in the rotation, and we are in a situation that is extraordinarily better than we were in before, even though we weren't that far down on health. We can play this blood bank once without any kind of worry. Granted, going a half heart down isn't really... But yeah, just, not so much from the fact that I got health back there, but from the fact that, by way of having a full health pill in the rotation, it means that I have a chance to get them later when they are far more valuable. So, that was a surprisingly good turn of events, which was kind of immediately shot down by that health down. But in all reality, that offsets one of the 2 Eternal Hearts we've got in this run, which isn't that bad. If I hadn't gotten one of those Eternal Hearts, I would be in the same position I'm in now. So, no harm, no foul, I say. Speed up, we're going to go ahead and move faster, I guess. We're going to keep playing this till we get to no pennies. Another Spirit Heart, that's actually really valuable. And another penny, so we can play again. This game is feeding my gambling addiction now. Oddly enough, I have never gambled in real life. Well, I take that back. I have bought like maybe 3 or 4 scratch-off lottery tickets before, as well as a couple of full-size lottery tickets. But all in all, I haven't really ever gone to like a casino and been like, I'm gonna play some slots or anything like that. Like, gambling just isn't my thing. I have too much attachment to my ability to keep myself well off in terms of money to risk losing pretty much everything by way of gambling it away. So I've kind of tried to avoid gambling in general just for the sake of making sure I don't become addicted to gambling. But then I play Isaac and I'm like, oh my god, slot machine, just keep paying out, I can go longer. Of course, as I blew up the slot machine, I did kill my chance to get another full health pill from it, now that I have a couple cents more. But, kill these guys, we get another red heart. I'm not going to wander all the way back here to pick up that red heart to play the blood bank, I don't think. It seems rather silly to me to backtrack all that way. But we are going to play the blood bank a few more times for the sake of trying to get a blood bag. Obviously to recuperate the health that we lost from that health down pill, as well as to, I guess, get a little bit of extra speed that we don't really need, but why not? So I do believe that this can still spawn the IV bag, but it didn't. It spawned the blood bag for us. We're right back at the health level we were when we started that arcade. But of course we did get some positives out of it, so I am not going to complain whatsoever. Let's go fight Mom. This fight shouldn't be hard. This is vanilla Mom. We're going to put a bomb there. 2 spirit hearts for us. I'll pick those up later. So if I end up taking a lot of damage on this run, I would prefer to not lose all the spirit hearts I could have going down to the next floor. God, why won't you die? So she's definitely spawning a lot right now, which isn't helpful. But we do have Scatole, so that was the other thing that I forgot to mention when we were in the arcade, is that we did get Scatole, which means that flies will no longer attack us. There's not a single type of fly that will be aggressive to us. It'll just fly around us, kind of bump into us until Cube of Meat gets around to hitting it, at which point it will die. Took some more stupid damage. We're about halfway done with Mom. This is really showing how weak we are at this point in the game, but we also aren't all that weak. You know what I mean? We're in that kind of dead zone between a run that has a lot of strength and a run that has mediocre strength. And I think that this is the kind of run where it's possible to succeed. It's just not very likely, and the entire reason for that is the lack of items that we got throughout the run. Had we gotten, you know, had we gotten all the keys that we could have, and gotten to all the item rooms and all the shops that we could have afforded throughout the game, we would be in a much different position than we are now. With that being said, we could take a tiers upgrade or we could reroll. We're going to reroll, get a range upgrade. That's rather disappointing to me. I would have rather had the tiers of the two. The only reason I did that was I was kind of pulling for a pentagram roll, which would have been, of course, a big help. But for right now, we're going to go fight the boss of Womb 1, which we are on the Womb. We continue our streak of only having one Wrath of the Lamb-based floor. So maybe that's a challenge the game gave to me this time. The game's like, I'm overriding your challenge of seeing if you can survive Wrath of the Lamb with Vanilla Isaac items, and instead giving you the challenge of not letting you into two-thirds of the item rooms, and seeing if you can beat these vanilla floors. And I'm like, you know what, game? It's challenging in its own right, but I really would have rather had you give me some more of these harder, so to speak, floors. Empress is far more valuable than the random teleport that, what's it called? The Hermit would have given me. Okay, that guy just popped up literally right as I walked over him. That was kind of horrible for me. I hate you, Diglett. Go away. I like how Isaac has Diglett, and meanwhile Rogue Legacy went with the Ghastly way. Ghastly, and I guess kind of along the lines of Ponyta. I kind of like that, you know, these things that are kind of designed like Pokemon were in there, in both these games that I quite enjoy. But obviously they aren't exactly like Pokemon, but okay, we're taking stupid damage. I should have hit that eye with Poison Touch at some point. Oh well, we're going to take the Strength card into this boss. We're going to hang on to the Empress for later. The reason for that is that we are 1 red heart down, so assuming that we can beat the boss with no damage, this will heal us to full health, whereas the Empress would have left us exactly where we were. So yeah, that's the reason we're doing this. We're going to be fighting the Bloat. Doesn't really bug me. Although really, the Bloat shouldn't have been appearing on the Womb one, let's be honest here. He's a boss that is supposed to only appear on the alternate floors. So for him to appear on the Womb is kind of unusual. But I'm not complaining. I actually kind of like the Bloat fight. As long as you stand like right here, he can't see you to fire his lasers. And you just really have to avoid the eyes and just open fire on him. So many people think that his only blind spot is behind his head, and that's just not the case. And when you play it like that, he really is an incredibly challenging boss. But when you play it knowing his alternate blind spot, taking him out is not that difficult. So we got an HP upgrade. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go check this challenge room up here real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to come in here. Don't hurt me so I can't go to the challenge room, please. Damn it. Okay, well I guess we aren't going to the challenge room, so let's just go down to the boss. That sound good to everyone? We're gonna save this Empress card, probably until the Isaac fight. I'm not really a big fan of kind of holding on to cards long term like that, but right now we just don't have the DPS to take out Isaac before he takes us out. That's not me being underconfident in my abilities, that's just pretty much fact of the matter. Isaac shoots a lot, he does a lot of quick burst damage while you're coming out of invincibility, and he is just not something that you can easily beat when you have this level of damage and this rate of fire. My rate of fire means he's going to be firing a lot more often, and my damage means I'm not going to be hitting him as hard as I need to in order to prevent that amount of shots from being deadly. However, with the Empress, we might have right about the damage that we need to make that happen. That's kind of what I'm pulling for, that's why I'm going to save it, but the other factor is Mom's Heart is not a very challenging boss. What do we have? Oh, we need to use the Empress on Mom's Heart. I need to take that full health pill down to the next floor. As much as extra damage would help, having what essentially boils down to a wafer for the Isaac boss fight is far more valuable to me. So we are going to use the Empress on here. We're going to take the full health pill down to the next floor. This is why it's very important not to become attached to your plans. Not just in this game, but always. Is because if a little thing comes up that offers a different strategy, you need to be ready to look at that strategy with full merit, not just say, hey, you know, I was going to do this, so I'm just going to keep up with that and use this other advantage to do something entirely different than what it's best used for. So that's my anecdotal life advice, I guess, and Isaac advice for the day, is that if you make a plan to do something, don't just hold on to it, because if you find something that changes your perception on the plan, you should go with that instead. Go away, Duke of Flies, because I almost have Mom's Heart dead. She is dead, and oh, I really wish I didn't have to pick up this half heart, but I do. And we're going to pick up this full health pill, and down to the cathedral, or up to, depending on your perspective. Oh, that's a tough decision. We haven't picked up that many books, but I think at this point it is valuable for me to tears down. That's actually really bad. It is valuable for me to try to get to this library, because if it is a library that I can pull off the reroll trick on, we could get a couple of free items. Of course, we have no keys right now, which is a problem for the chest too, that I just kind of realized that we still have not picked up any keys, even with nothing to use them on. This is honestly the fewest amount of keys I've ever picked up in a run. To have gotten 3 keys by the time we're on the cathedral is honestly kind of madness, especially with how long we spent in that arcade. But we get a chest here. The chest has... Oh, I didn't want the half heart. I'm an idiot. What's in here? We get a bomb and a spirit heart. So we're right back where we were. We might as well fight this room. It's just a couple of Geminis. This way here, if we do get a key, we can decide if it's more valuable to save to the chest or to use here. Of course, we could always make our way to the challenge room in hopes of finding a skeleton key, which would both make the chest a much bigger viability, as well as open up our path to this library. But we'll see what happens when we get to that point. These guys are actually being kinds of pains in the neck. I did not expect to take 2 hits of damage against a double Gemini. But they are almost, yeah, I was going to say, both big guys are almost dead. And once we're down to just these small guys, they are pretty much not a threat to me. Just need to keep firing at them, keep them at bay. And we are going to kill this guy. We do get a key and a spirit heart. Right now, we need to save the key till the chest. I say that because the chest is guaranteed to be a random item. I don't think that we've picked up all the books yet, so the library I'd have to reroll several times to turn into regular items. I'm not sure how many rerolls I'm going to get, if I'm going to get enough to get in there. Obviously, 1 key for 2 would be much better than 1 key for 1 item, but we are fighting the pony, Headless Horseman here, who isn't really headless. His head is just floating alongside him instead of being attached to his body. And he is going down pretty quickly, as could be expected. He's a boss that doesn't have all that much HP, even when he's an actual boss. But we're going to get him out of the way. The only reason Headless Horseman always seems so challenging is that usually you're going to get him early in the game. I don't know why, but it seems like he's more common to appear earlier in the game than later, at least in my experience. So, you know, at that point, yeah, he seems a lot more difficult because you're doing so much less than you would be later in the game. But yeah, you know, obviously 1 key for 2 items would be better than 1 key for 1 item, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to get those 2 items. So I kind of have to go with one that's I'm going to have a guaranteed chance of getting something valuable. You know, I could get Book of Revelations in the library, but how valuable is 1 Spirit Heart, really? I could get, you know, Anarchist Cookbook, which would just be dropped. I don't think I've had Monster Manual yet this run, so that would just be dropped. Oh my god! So many bullets! So little time! Oh, that was close. I mean, technically this does fall into the order of a Vanilla Isaac items only run, but it also falls into the order of, oh dear lord, we are almost going to get to and possibly beat Isaac with the Pact, Blood of the Martyr, and the Compass and Map. And that's about it for actual valuable items. So, I am kind of impressed with how this run has gone. Obviously, the less items you get, the more challenging this game is, and that makes it kind of... And that makes a run like this kind of nightmarish. But my goal is just to still have this full health pill and at least a few hits I can take when I get to Isaac. It would have really helped to blow up one of those guys, to kill the other one. But since that didn't happen, we'll just focus on Mr. Headless over here. I guess this guy is Bodiless Horseman. Okay, that was perfect. That was close though. Speed up, I'll take it. Might be getting close to having too much speed, but you know what? We gotta take every advantage we can get. At least our pill rotation has been mostly good. You know, we had that 1 health down pill and that 1 tears down pill. We've got in range ups, speed ups, and full health. So that's a bonus, right? Right? Oh man. This run is wearing on me. I did not expect this to be so much of a challenge run, really. Like, I knew it would be a challenge run in its own right, but to give me no items that affect my stats except for the Pact, the Mark, and the Pact, and Blood of the Martyr, and we get piercing shots. That's not the most valuable thing, but it's also not bad. I don't really know how I feel about that, honestly. Quite frankly, it's an item that is going to help us, especially once Isaac starts spawning the little angel fetus dudes. But is it a game changer? No. You know what? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I did manage to get an item for basically free. That is probably a mid to top tier item. Obviously, if you get Mom's Knife or Brimstone, it becomes pointless. But if you get and if you don't, Piercing Shots is probably a top tier item if you don't get one of those too. So I mean, it's not the best thing we could have hoped for, but is it something I'm glad that we picked up? Yeah. So Greed is being kind of a jerk. He is showing us exactly how little damage we are doing at this point in the game. And we are going to kill these hoppers. So we can take 4 hits. I would have loved to have gotten a half heart there. Oh man. Oh, decisions. Is it better for me to take the Empress and take higher damage into the boss fight, or is it better for me to take the full health? You know what? I gotta go with the full health, and we'll save the Empress for if we're lucky enough to go down to the chest. I think the ability to heal up to full will be more valuable than the extra damage would. Plus, the Empress makes you larger, which of course makes you easier for Isaac to hit. We do want to run in and hit him with Poison Touch if we can when we do get hit. Cube of Meat just saved me some damage there. That was me. I just knocked the bomb too far away to hit him. Oh, there we go again. Let's run in, Poison Touch, and a bomb. And we are almost on the second phase of Isaac, which has given us 2 hits. We've taken 2 hits so far. 3 hits. We did manage to poison him. We didn't get a bomb off, but we poisoned him. 1 more hit and I need to pop this full health pill. I cannot forget that. Okay, we're doing decent on phase 2 here. I think we're going to beat Isaac. With as few items as we got, I consider that a success. But, yeah, I think we're going to beat him. We're almost to the 3rd phase. We've only taken, I think, 2 hits. Because we had 5 health, so we could take, or no, maybe 3. Because I think we could take 4 safely. So yeah, it was 3 hits now I think about it. We've taken 3 hits, and we're just now bringing Isaac to his 3rd phase. Which is going to be the hardest one, but... Oh, no, not. I hit space instead of Q, but it worked because I didn't have a D6 charge anyway, and I still got the full health pill off in time. That was really close. Things are getting really hectic right now. I really wish that we had a better ability to do some damage to these angel fetuses, because crowd control is becoming my major issue. I do want to blow up Isaac a bit, blow up some angel fetuses. The bombs are coming in handy. In a way, I wish I had Bobby Bomb, but you know what? I got Blood of the Martyr out of that, and I wouldn't be anywhere close to this point without that. So, I guess we kind of had a half win on that. Drop another bomb in here. It's going to bring Isaac down low. We're getting close. This is a very intense fight. Oh my god, he is so close to dying, but we are too. We're below the health that we had when we came into the boss room after using the full health pill. Which is obviously not a good sign for our success, but we're so close to beating him. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. Come on, come on, come on. Just a couple more hits and he'll be... No! He's dead! He's dead! Oh, man. Get the half heart. Get the half heart. That's going to give us a brief spell of invincibility if we get hit 3 more times at any point before we get back to full health. Oh, man. We just need to kill these things, and we are going to the chest on a run where I got the Pact, Blood of the Martyr, and 8 red hearts. Oh, man. Oh, let me take a drink real quick. That was... Woo. Well, that was a very intense fight. Let's see what the chest has to offer us. The boss room is really far away. That doesn't make me feel all that great. The Forget-Me-Now! Because I really want to go through the chest a second time after beating it once. Because I'm definitely going to beat it one time, you know? It's so assured that I'm going to beat the chest once, why not get a Forget-Me-Now and go through it a second time? And that was some stupid damage to take. I thought I had more room than I did, let's be honest here. Luckily, piercing shots are coming in handy for this guy. He is one of the enemies I was kind of thinking of when I got piercing shots, of it being extremely useful. Because anything that's going to spawn that we're going to come across on the chest, obviously the fact that we can shoot through the spawns and still hit them is a big help. He could drop us Bob's Curse, which is a Wrath of the Lamb item, so he couldn't take it. What I'm going to do for any kind of Wrath of the Lamb items that drop like that due to my inability to prevent them is going to be to use Spider Mod's inbuilt reroll, not the D6, to make it where they dropped a vanilla item, and then to reroll from there to get something else if I wanted. So he does drop Bob's Curse. We are going to hit F6, which will give us number 1 as a possibility. I don't want that. PhD is going to give us a couple of hearts back. That's a big help. Also, if we find another health down pill, that's going to be a health up now. But yeah, I think that's the only way to really handle things that I couldn't prevent it from spawning that were Wrath of the Lamb. Because otherwise I'm just going to be using rerolls to pop things open that aren't items that should have been spawning anyway. But the item pools only really apply to things that have pools of items to pull from. You know, when it comes to mini boss drops, that's not really the case. There's one item they drop and nothing else, except for consumables. So I kind of had to do that, or have kind of putting myself at what would be a disadvantage over the normal game, I guess. So we are going to be killing Super Wrath here very shortly. We're doing okay. We don't have a big shot, but Spelunker's helmet, I'm saving it for a reroll. I need a reroll Forget-Me-Now, but Spelunker's hat, oh man, Gertie Jr. is going to be horrible without any kind of knockback to our shots to slow it down. This is one of the enemies I did not consider when I picked up piercing shots, who will be honestly 1,000 times harder without them than he would be with them. So we are out of Spirit Hearts. We're down to 4.5, 3.5. Might as well take the extra poison damage on that Gertie Jr. We do get a heart back. We get a pill, which is something that'll be identified soon. Let's just go ahead and start fighting these Monster 2s. Luck up doesn't really help me, but we'll take it. Just because, why not, really? And we want to keep these 2 in pattern as much as possible. We just need to kind of stand at the perfect spot where we're hitting both of them. Oh man, that guy got out of... Oh crap. That's not good. That guy got out of his motion of firing the laser every time. Now that guy did. They can be very hard to realign after you get one of them out of the pattern. That guy kind of... we kind of got it there for a second, but it didn't last very long. Whoops, I did not notice they were both firing. I am getting distracted now. And let's go ahead and... Oh man, we're almost dead. I think the fairy tale ends here. I think we're gonna be dead before we fight Blue Baby. Nonetheless, before we beat him, which is unfortunate. This run was turning out much better than I expected. But I think that an Isaac fight there really was a very well done fight. I think I got to give myself some credit for that, because I think we should have lost that. Anarchist Cookbook, I don't want whatsoever. So we're not in good shape, by any means. We might be able to get through this room, but probably not. As we saw from last time, Gertie Jr., when we have no knockback, is kind of a pain to me, because I am used to making him not keep chasing after me by shooting him repeatedly. And... oh man, no! You are not going to kill me, Gertie. Lust could do it here, because sometimes Lust gets a little speed boost at random. Sloth or Wrath could also pull it off if they were lucky, as could this Maggot. Really, pretty much anything in this room could kill me right now. I wish there was a gluttony so I could kill him last and try to get a less than 3, which would give me full health back. But as there is not, we are going to have to deal with these guys, and I guess maybe kill Sloth last in hopes to... You know, we've already rerolled Bob's Rotten Head. I don't know if they can appear again, so let's kill Sloth first if we can. And then we can try to reroll Mr. Boom if we get it. Although we still have enough stuff to reroll that doesn't really matter at this point. We aren't going to have enough rerolls to do anything. So let's be honest, if I go into Blue Baby with half a red heart, we're not going to survive. We have no chance. So, this is just a bunch of red poop. Let's bomb our way into the secret room. Maybe it'll be a nice easy greed fight. It is, except it's Super Greed, who could actually kill me. It wouldn't be that hard for me to die to Super Greed. I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah. This is a Super Greed fight. This is pretty much laying it all on the line in hopes of one more good item that'll be a game changer. Less than 3, giving me full health, would probably be enough to where I could win the fight against Blue Baby. Literally, that's my one hope, is that it's something that's going to give me full health and maybe an extra health up as well. Hell, if it's Mom's bottle of pills and I can reroll it to get, and I can use it and end up... we got a key, too. That's 2 items that we can get tried out now. Okay, this could be big. I don't know why I'm letting my hopes get up this much, but this could be big. Let's pop this one open. We're going to pick this up so it doesn't reappear. We're going to pick up Dead Sea Scrolls. We're going to use Dead Sea Scrolls because they could have been Yum Heart. And we're going to reroll. And we get speed and range up and fire rate up, damage down. Well, I was stupid to get my hopes up, wasn't I? But there is a gluttony in here. If I can just make sure that I don't kill him first. That's all I ask, is to make sure that I kill Lust, then Sloth, then Gluttony last. Okay, well, there's Lust down. Sloth is dropping pretty quick. I don't know how much damage I've done to Gluttony, though. Okay, Gluttony is alive. Come on, drop less than 3. If you do that, I can win this run. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No! Okay, well, the heart and a half, one of those is useful. Because now we can take a hit, get a spell of... Never mind. And with it being double Monstro, unless I manage to not get these guys out of the pattern like I did last time, this is going to be very difficult for us. Unfortunately, little Steven is making this kind of challenging to me by knocking these guys down. But we are also keeping them in the pattern so far. This might have been Empress worthy, but really I don't stand a single chance against Blue Baby, even if I get back to full health, if I don't have the Empress. So, okay, one of them is out of pattern. Let's just hope that he gets back in pattern. He did, but they're slightly mistimed now. This is getting dangerous, but they're almost dead. One more room after this. Oh my god, how did I not get hit? Oh! Oh, I should be dead right now. I should be dead right... No! Oh man, that was such... Oh, there were so many points with how bad that run was through most of it. That we were this close to pulling off. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the run, as horrible and close as it was to being a completion. I think I proved a good point that Wrath of the Lamb is very much beatable with nothing but vanilla items. Granted, there was the fact that, you know, we got 2 item rooms the whole game and 1 devil room. Those are both big numbers to have when you're not getting one of the... not getting one or the other, that usually balances out. Not getting either of them, that's just pretty much asking for failure. Like, I don't think I could have succeeded on that run without a little bit more luck on the chest. Like I said, if Gluttony dropped to less than 3, we were golden. We won that round. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was long, but I think it was an interesting run. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back. I hope you like this videos. I hope you see what else I got on the channel if you haven't before. And I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, whatever the case may be for you right now. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you, guys, and thank you, everyone. Bye. I'm confusing myself with my statements. No!